Something was crying on that cliff, and by the time anyone found him, one more slip would have been the end. The storm had passed only hours earlier in the Colorado Rockies. The rock was still wet, the wind was still cold, and halfway down a sheer canyon wall, a bear cub was trapped on a ledge no wider than his own body. He was too small to climb back up, too terrified to stay still. Every move sent gravel into the river below. Somewhere above him, his mother paced the ridge. She could hear him, she could see him, but she couldn't reach him. The cub tried again and again to pull himself higher. Each time his paws slipped on the wet stone. His muzzle was scraped raw. One back leg was hurt. He was running out of strength. Then, the mountain gave way beneath him. A piece of rock broke loose. The cub dropped, caught himself, and clung there by instinct. That was the moment Emma Carter heard him. Emma was on an early wildlife patrol when the sound echoed through the canyon. At first, she thought it was a bird. Then she heard it again, sharp, desperate, wrong. She stepped to the overlook, raised her binoculars, and froze. A cub on the wall, a mother on the ridge, loose rock everywhere. She radioed in her position, ran back to her truck, and grabbed every piece of rope gear she had. There wasn't time to wait for a larger team. The rock was crumbling. The cub was panicking, and if the mother came too close at the wrong moment, the rescue could fall apart in seconds. Emma anchored her line at the cliff edge, clipped in, and went over. Below her, the cub pressed himself tighter against the stone. Above her, the mother watched every move. Emma descended slowly. No sudden sounds, no sharp motions, just one careful step at a time. The cub saw her coming and panicked. He edged backward, too close to the drop. Emma lowered herself even more carefully, talking in a low, steady voice the cub couldn't understand, but maybe could feel. By the time she reached him, he was trembling so hard he could barely hold on. She moved fast, but gently. One arm around the cub, a rescue blanket around his body, her own chest between him and the drop. And then, carrying all that fear and weight against her, Emma climbed back up. When they reached solid ground, the cub was still alive, barely moving, breathing fast, shocked, exhausted, but alive. Emma laid him on a blanket and checked his injuries. Cuts on both front paws, scrapes across the nose, bruising in the left hind leg, dehydration, cold stress. In the trees behind her, the mother bear lingered at a distance for one last moment.